Anyone know what the name of the EU4 mod that gives you the flags? And I think it was the UI that we see here in the mod. I would have assumed the flags were just MEIOU and Taxes. I mean, a whole shtick of this game is adding more stuff. As to the UI, I'm not sure. Does France actually own any land, or is it all autonomous? That's a very good question. And as soon as I find the states map mode, I will answer said question. Normandy. We own Normandy. No, we don't. Yeah, we really don't own much of it. Oh no, Berry. Bourbonnais. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to accept your demands because this is ridiculous. And I'd like the greater nobles to be more loyal so I can call upon them during times of need. Papal consistory meets. A consistory was a meeting of the cardinals of the Catholic Church held about twice a year. It was an opportunity for popes to decide matters of faith, dispense justice. Right, this is trying to get new cardinals, which we don't want. So Scorn and Tarragona are going to be the only ones I will allow. Because we have an iron grip on the Curia at the moment. And I need to invest some more so that we maintain aforementioned iron grip. Because so long as I control the Curia, I control the number of cardinals get introduced. And the less cardinals get introduced, the more we have in comparison. Because we have 4, everyone else has only 1. And that's without adding other countries to it. So no, we want to... The number of cardinals should be very exclusive, it should be very small, and it should be French. And we are very close to being able to get more military tech, which is nice. How's banking doing? Spreading. Slowly. Even Paris doesn't have it yet. Who else has it? We still don't. Had to get more tea! Oh yeah, that corruption reduction is growing over time. Okay, good to know. So I guess that's entirely controlled by your estates. The more influence your estates have and the more rights your estates have, the higher corruption grows. So I really do need to clamp down on them. Alright, so to that end, I need to improve my stability because you can only do that if you have positive stability. We have 71 points, we need 150. Unfortunately, we had 2 stability reducing events like in a row. It was really bad. We can build improvements. I don't want to. We can get admin and military tech now. I'm going to save the points. Can only keep up to 2,114 power. Yeah, I'm going to save it. Because if we manage to embrace banking, then I will save a bunch of monarch points. Although, I must admit, I have no idea how important they are in this. I feel like they're a lot less important than money. It's not like they're the be-all, end-all, like in U4 vanilla. How am I doing on force limits? Dead on. I really want to get my professionalism increasing again, but I'm aware of the fact that this is still super duper early into the game. We have some of the best professionalism in the world. Terrible tradition though. Wouldn't say they're a lot less important than money, but they're definitely less important than in vanilla. Yeah, in vanilla they really are kind of the be-all, end-all. One of the things I really am tempted to do is play as someone really small, like Hamburg or Lübeck, and try and just build as tall as I possibly can. Like, I've done tall nations, but I've never done one province minor nations. And Hamburg seems like it would be suited to doing that. And I guess that's one of the few ways where a merchant republic would actually be decent. Because he could establish other trading cities rather than just having provinces. Who's Fez fighting? Fez is fighting Morocco and Algiers. I don't have any way of getting troops to you, so that condottieri is not going to happen. Try an OPM, build a colonial empire, is that overdone? No, I wouldn't have colonies. It'd be purely trading cities. So I guess that would mean taking over somebody else's one province from a colony and then turning it into a trading city. I don't even know if that's possible. Republics need a rework. Yes, I 100% agree with that. Fortnite, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the channel. So when's this due? 1375, so we still have another 3 years. Yeah, we'll easily make that. We're what? 20 months away? A year and a bit? Then we'll repay that and then we'll have a decent amount of money, then I might start drilling again. Or I might start investing more money into infrastructure and construction. It's not the art stuff, it would be the workshops and markets. Workshops especially, like I want to increase the base urban gravity because I want more middle class. I want to industrialize early. Alencon has announced Anjou as their rival. That's unfortunate for them. The whole election system especially is quite boring and vanilla. It's basically just saving up tradition and reselecting as often as you can. Yeah, and part of the problem with republics is that Republican tradition is so much more important than legitimacy. Like, you can just let legitimacy drop to 0 and not really care. Let tradition drop even below like 80 and it's a terrible, terrible travesty. And people have actually worked out how many monarch points you get over the course of a game, and theoretically the strength of republics is they get more monarch points than a monarchy does. Completely untrue. Like, on basis of averages throughout an entire game, a monarchy will get more. And that's what needs to change. Because I do think that republics, like the main draw of a republic, is they have more monarch points, which means more ideas and more technology. But they lose out in other places, like centralization, absolutism, which they basically just don't get. And also the far more centralized awesomeness of monarchies. Found them board. It's thick borders and recolored water extra user interface. Ah, cool. But now that they're redesigning how governments work, I really do hope that they take another look at republics. Although I heard, this really pissed me off. Don't know if it's true, but basically the new system with the governments is modular, so you can pick and mix different bonuses and different attributes for your government, and then every 10, 15, 20 years you can select another reform. However, if you get all the way to the end of your reform tree and then decide to switch from a monarchy to a republic, you keep the majority of reforms. However, you switch from a republic into a monarchy, you keep the majority of your reforms. However, if you change from a monarchy into a republic, you lose a bunch of them. Why? Why are you unnecessarily nerfing republics in that way? Shouldn't it be you both lose a bunch because you've just done a major transition of power? Death of the Pope. Most popes were already old when elected and their reigns lasted just a few years on average, blah blah blah. I have 75%. You know what? I'm going to just drop a little bit more. We have a lot of papal power. Oh, I could bless the ruler. That's true. So this would use up 50 influence, which is fine. It would gain us some legitimacy and prestige, which is really helpful. Let's do that. You can only do that once, but I think that works. Florence and Tuscany game was like a mad rush to get all the provinces to form Tuscany, abandon the Republic because tradition was killing me. It was the same as playing with Venice and Genoa. So Bussy and I did basically 2 trading merchant republics. He switched from merchant republic to a monarchy almost immediately, and I didn't. And oh my gosh, he did so much better. Not just because Venice is slightly better at the start of the game, but just because he wasn't a merchant republic. It really hamstrings you. General died. That is actually slightly annoying, but I can go ahead and recruit a new one. I could try and make the king a general. I think I will. Okay. Mission fulfilled. Protect our lands. Total army size is at least 100% of force limit, manpower level of at least 50%. Ah, that's what I was waiting for. Okay. Land modifier goes down. Capital of at least 3,000 men in the fort's garrison. Yeah, we can do that. I'm going to just go ahead and restart you. And you will go up to 3,000. I really hope that isn't a sign they're making a pig zero of the government rework. That was the only thing from Dom that interests me. No, that's my only qualm about the system so far. Obviously I haven't touched it, I haven't played it. But watching the dev clash, and they have been making a pretty big deal about like checking everyone's reforms and how they're doing things and what paths they're going down. It all looks actually pretty sweet. Like I'm very happy with how they've done that. That's just the one bit where I'm, again, not 100% is true. I'm sure it's true because I have not seen it, nor have I seen evidence of it. But that's just like on the rumour mill. You know what rumour mills are like. Completely known for their truthfulness. But I would highly recommend checking out the Dev Clash because they do talk quite a lot about the different, about the reform system. It's quite nice. Benign neglect. It seems the government that governs the least is the best as far as the outside of the capital are concerned, and non-involvement is proved beneficial as the local economy is booming. Alright, so Bry, which is this big guy, is definitely a tax-based place. So I will increase your taxes by 10%. Mission fulfilled. Protect the capital. Fort maintenance reduced by 10%. Military investments completed. One of those. Standing army, quality, quantity, or leadership. Standing army is the one I have, right? Yes. But I have no intention of completing that anytime soon, so we're just going to go ahead and turn you off again to save me some money. And we very nearly got to 190, which is where I wanted. I know you don't necessarily need 190, but I just felt like it might be better to have a higher level when you start to try and subjugate people. Improve relations with Flanders is done. Alright, so who else around us has this? Provence would actually be a really good one to improve relations with. You're in a PU under Naples. Provence isn't actually one of ours. Huh. Interesting. Okay, so Artois has finished. We have a free diplomat. So I'm going to work on integrating a subject. Which subject should we try and integrate? Factors influencing the heir's choice, trust of the overlord, opinion of the overlord, respective diplomatic reputation, legitimacy, prestige, development, army size, and distance from overlord. 55.4% chance he accepts. Try. Has accepted. Booyah! Which means what? Seal of confession. Religious institutions are often considered sacrosanct and above the petty plots and schemes of countries and spies. This is why it's crucial to infiltrate them. Many secrets that would never be spoken aloud are told in confidence to religious authorities, with the practice of confession that has even turned it into an institution. So we can get spy network against Flanders or Diplo power. I will take the Diplo power. Thank you. So does that mean I can start to annex them? Need to centralise your nation to at least 40. Need to wait for the assimilation process to be over. Currently it requires up to 25 years. For more details, don't forget to check your vassal policy decision. Once assimilation process is over, you need a minimum of 10 years of vassalization. Okay, so I guess I need to assimilate him, which is what I've just started to do. And when that's done, I need to have 40 of this, which is never going to happen, and then I'll be able to do it. Okay. Deadlock Conclave. Pray for guidance or make life uncomfortable until they choose. I'm happy to pray for guidance. We've had those events a few times now, so I'm just going to click through them. Makes sense. The ruling family of Naples fled to Provence after the Aragonese swiped Naples from them in 1442. Unfortunately, it is still 1373, so it's before the events of that. Hope to run a Mughals or Bharat Hindustan game in Dharma, or maybe a Nepalese conquest of India. You know what? Nepal looked interesting. Nepal definitely looked interesting. Oh, and one of the things that they were talking about, which I'd really like to see someone do as a challenge, it's not really up my street, but if someone else wants to do it, that'd be awesome. They were saying that it was possible to get one of the Indian tribal nations, get all the way down the government reform system until you can reform, then reform into a horde, and then you will be a steppe horde that has elephants as your unit model instead of horses. So you're basically a steppe horde that uses elephants. And as a horde, of course, you can have 100% cavalry ratio, which means you have an army entirely comprised of elephants. How cool would that be? That sounds really cool. Flanders gains a claim on Rethelois, gain 5 prestige. I gain 5? They gain. I think they gained. No, I gained. That's Brabant. That's Flanders. Unfortunately, I can't declare war on them because we're still in the 100 Years' War with England. And how much am I going to need to repay? 132 ducats. I've still got a year, so we'll be fine. Although I've just noticed that this does not correlate to this. Considering a Tibet game and played Tibet a while ago and still a bit dull, but Tibet's getting a rework in the mission tree, so I want to give them another go. Yeah, I mean, that whole area is getting pretty heftily reworked. Okay, now they're correlating. Considering doing a custom daimyo in Hokkaido and trying to win the Sengoku Wars. Well, one of the games I definitely need to do is a Japan game. At some point. That'll be after I play my beloved Gelderland, though. I need to do another Dutch game. And go heavily into trying to buy a trade post in India. I think that would be an interesting way of doing it. And really try to recreate the East India Company. Or the Oostindische Company? No, that doesn't sound right. Those guys. Although nearly every pope was Italian, the fact that Italy was divided meant that many of the empires had influence there, blah 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 blah. Our influence has allowed us to guide the decision to select a new pope. Why did we choose him? Acceptable to be to us, or can be manipulated. Well, I'm already guaranteeing them, so I don't necessarily need to guarantee them again, do I? Oh. Or are you saying they would guarantee France? Oh, now that would be interesting. Because that would have the Pope fighting on my side if England ever tried anything. Appointing new cardinals. Encourage him to only appoint worthy men or suggest a few names. We're going to suggest a few names. We now have 5 cardinals. You see what I mean by us controlling the Curia? 5 cardinals versus 5. So we control precisely half. I also want to make sure that we are the #1 chance of getting Curia controller. Because as soon as we lose that, I just know the floodgates are going to open to new cardinals. Remember, Mordred, drink coffee and use spices only from your own plantations. You can just smell the sweet, sweet smells of colonialism and oppression. A case comes before the papal court. Oh, this is wedding between Milan and Bologna. Yeah, that doesn't really bother me, so go for it. Papal consistory. Appoint only the most select. Lombardia. And my influence should just be going through the roof because the Pope absolutely loves us. Kind of is. Because you get papal influence for every cardinal, which is then multiplied by how much the Pope likes you. Our church has pretty high power as well, apparently, even though that's not a state. Request an annulment. That would be to get rid of my consort. Yeah, I don't need to do that. Thanks. Royal family in Brittany will learn that the pleasantries exchanged. For the past couple of days, we've been entertaining a guest from the royal court of Brittany, the once home of the Queen Consort. After a full week of hunting, feasting and gossiping with the family, Jean's cousin is finally preparing to return to Gwynedd. Gwynedd? That's Wales, isn't it? It is. So why was there a Welsh cousin coming from Brittany? I find that highly suspicious. We've discovered an agent. Flanders are watching us. Question of rights. A subject of ours currently holds lands to which we have a claim. If we were to claim this province for ourselves, we would undoubtedly regard us with contempt and distrust. On the other hand, there would be no position to stop us from taking control of the area if we would wish to do so. So I can take the province, in which case Armanac's opinion of us changes. Yeah, it's mine, obviously. I can core it. Cannot core a province while it has unrest or martial law modifier. So Armagnac, it's one of these. Except it's not. There it is. It doesn't have unrest. It's currently controlled by the Greater Nobles, despite the fact I never gave it to the Greater Nobles. I wonder if province control is done automatically. Depending on their rights and things. Yeah, probably. So why can't I call this? They don't have unrest, and they don't, as far as I could tell, have martial law. They have separatism, is that what you mean? They have martial law. Ah. Recently acquired province is still fully under military control. It's not been integrated into the nation's tax systems and thus produces nothing. However, the recent shock of acquisition has left any rebellious elements disorganised. Martial law modifier will be removed when communication efficiency is recalculated once every 5 years, or you can dispatch runners from the state interactions in the estate menu. Every estate has a dominant province. I mean, every province has a dominant estate. Yeah, I was going to say. We got there in the end. And hey, Badkins, good to see you. So I could send a runner, but our communication is actually super close, so I'm not going to bother. We'll just wait. Although that's going to be super distracting. I'll be like, oh, I can chord. No, I can't. Oh, I can. No, no. Nope. Alright, so I can screw with England. I feel like I should be somehow screwing with England, although I don't actually have anything I can do, so never mind. Words are harder after work. Yeah, I can understand that. Did I see your Kaiserreich PR? No. You have me intrigued, though, I must say. A Queen Consort of the people. It has become clear to us that Queen Consort Jeanne is a woman of a heart of gold. She always does her best to please her husband, King Charles V, and treats her friends with unparalleled kindness. So I can lose a bunch of money, which is terrible, or I could just gain legitimacy. We have important matters to deal with. Yeah, I'm not going to pay you money to give to the peasants. You're the captain of Kaiserreich. Ah, okay. Heard runners bloat the save file, not sure if that's still the case, but probably best wait until the automatic calculation. Yes, that's what I heard too. Aha! I can get banking. That started to spread more quickly. Well, it is 41% of our population, so I'm going to guess, yeah, Paris has, Paris has embraced it. So we could totally just embrace this right now, and then I could do technology. Change our tech cost by -15. No, you know what? I'm not going to do that because I want to pay off this loan. Once the loan is gone and I'm not paying that nearly 1 ducat a month, then we can save up for the embracement and we can do that then. Hematus. Banking is nice. Yeah, I know banking is nice, but not having debt is even nicer at this point. Although, that does reduce interest, which is what I'm paying a lot of right now. No, I think I'm still going to wait to pay off because I'm actually pretty darn close. And I don't want to redo the loan. That would suck. Ecclesiastical writings. Congratulate him for his fine work. Well done, Pope. Pope did good. And France needs to exert itself. Le curia c'est moi. But banks give out loans, which means debt. It also means interest if you are the one holding the debt. Quarantine it to get rid of the influenza. Yeah, quarantine. I don't want that spreading. Oh, no, 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 no. Definitely not. Game feels like it's running slow. Is it just me? No, the game is definitely running slow. Notice, this is not the time.